Does anybody here knows what is sadhana? Sadhana. So we use Sanskrit sometimes, spiritual language, and we use some technical terms like sadhana. So let us start from the beginning. Okay? So actually, we practice in Bhakti yoga. Yoga means uh, spiritual discipline, connection, or to link up with the supreme I, supreme consciousness, supreme being, supreme Lord, whatever you like. And bhakti means love and devotion. So we practice in yoga of love, basically. So we want to create our love. But it's not material love. Material love is called karma. Karma means sense gratification.
This is Prabhu, this section, gathering, Bhakti Circle, we called it.
Oh, yeah, we call it Bhakti Circle, so you're a little bit aware of what's going on here. And it's yoga of love. So we want to develop our spiritual love because we have already material love. And it's not satisfying, right? So because we have our own challenges with this love, ups and downs. It's not the perfect love. That's why we want to create spiritual love. And to create the spiritual love, we have to go through the practice. And this practice is called sadhana. Sadhana? Actually, technically speaking, this bhakti yoga consists of three parts, three phases we went through in order to develop our love. First one is called sadhana, means practice. It's not perfect love. We just try to awaken it, right? Then second part is called, as anybody has any idea, it's called bhava. Bhava means spiritual emotion. It's like a threshold of prema or spiritual love. So we want to get this divine love, which is called prema in Sanskrit. And this practice, discipline, for awakening, or this practice of engaging our material senses, which are tongue, eyes, sense of hearing, sense of touch. So we want to engage this in spiritual practice in order to awaken our dharma and love Godhead, which is in our heart. So these conscious efforts with our body, mind, intelligence, how to awaken this love. So that's what we practice in. So we're not coming here having good time and to chit chat with the people and have some little Eastern food. So we're practicing love of Godhead, basically. We want to awaken it because it's inherited nature of the soul, and this is our supreme destination, and this is the goal of life, actually. So this is sadhana, bringing us to the level of sadhya. Sadhya means goal. As I said, sadhya or goal of life means bhava. Emotion, spiritual emotion. We already have some emotions, maybe towards God, towards spiritual, something spiritual, right? But it's a little bit sentimental. It's based on the mental platform. It's coming and going, it's not stable. So you want to get real love. And if you awaken it, it's never go away. So it's always with you. It's eternal. Yeah, and this practice of sadhana, discipline, basically, this is consists of also two parts. I'm explaining you a process which is a little bit scientific because you have to understand that it's not what's called sentimental or whimsical thing. This is completely scientific, systematical process. It's called science of God, of self-realization. So, and the sadhana or discipline consists of two parts. One is called, a little bit technical, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti. Vaidhi means regulated devotional service. When we practice in our bhakti, like chanting, dancing, feasting, philosophy, and all the things. And this is part is interrupted. So we practice a little bit, then we give it up, and we're going for other things. We're going to social duties, to have a rest, take a sleep, like eating, sleeping, mating, defending, internet, and so on and so forth. Then we come back and we again practicing. That's called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, or regulated devotional service. And then another phase is called Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Have you heard? Raga means attachment. When you uninterruptedly practice in devotional service, non-stop. This is high level, right? You have to have some higher taste, otherwise you can't do this against your nature. So you have to elevate yourself. And basic misconception of people about spiritual life, it's like people think normally spiritual life is like life of renunciation. You have to live a austere life, renounce everything, be very sober and reserved, and avoid many things. So bhakti is different. So you don't need to give up anything. You stay where you are, but you add just Krishna to your life, and you follow to your taste, to your attachment. You create attachment, in other words. You're not detached from anything. You just create your attachment, but not to material things, but to spiritual, to Krishna. So you have to create this attachment. And then when you create this attachment, naturally give up what is lower taste. It's a principle given in the scriptures. When you acquire higher taste, you naturally renounce lower taste. So we're doing like this. We're not just artificially renounce things and become very austere yogis, breathing, sometimes stop breathing, or whatever, staying upside down on a different yogi posture. Not like this. We're not living in a cave, We're normal social people. We practice in spiritual life in the midst of city life. And we're following our taste. We develop this taste, spiritual taste. So this is basically sadhana bhakti. And this sadhana bhakti consists of different items. Our spiritual masters from the past, they explain the science of bhakti. They've given us many different things. And one of the spiritual masters from the past, his name Rupa Goswami, he explained it in 64 different items. It's maybe too much, and therefore we maybe explain it in the 5 steps. 5 steps. It's easy. So we have 5 main methods or processes. Very potent, very potential to awaken our love. So first one is called Harinam Sankirtan, means chanting of the holy name. So we chanting holy name congregationally or individually. We have our beats. I see you have beats. So you're doing this every day, right? Yeah, this is called Harinam Sankirtan or chanting of holy name. And this is main process, how to reawaken our dormant love for God in our heart. Harinam Sankirtan, then we come in together, we assemble with those people who like-minded, and they're also a little bit more advanced than we are. They're called sadhus or practicing devotees. So it's called sadhu sangha. So we come together. This is very important, very, very highly recommended process. Then we have another one is called Bhagavad Shravana. I'm using technical here. Submitting your documents, and then you become eligible by practicing Bhakti for some time, practicing all the items, and then you become eligible candidates to elevate yourself, to change your body for spiritual, and going there, continue with the practice. So we've done here, we want to do it there for eternity. But because we have material bodies which are not perfect bodies, you're young, maybe you still full of energy, but then in due course of time, you will feel that it's not a perfect bodies, and it's not really meant for profound, deep spiritual practice. These bodies, but of course, it's human bodies; they're good bodies. Because soul is living in different bodies, but human form of life is meant for spiritual elevation. It's a perfect body. Even divine bodies for the heavenly planets, they don't have this opportunity to practice spiritual life. So we are living here in Kali Yuga, in a materialistic environment, but still we have this opportunity to practice and to develop our spiritual consciousness. And this is very unique and very fortunate situation. So all of you are very fortunate. So you can practice bhakti, you can practice sadhana in order to attain bhava, spiritual, transcendental transformation of your consciousness. I'll give you a definition of bhava if you want. This is a little bit technical from the yoga text. It is saying, Shuddha sattva visheshatma prema svayam chusame bhag, uchikirti tamasvinyam sat achir bhava uchyate. So this is bhava definition. I will translate for you. When you attain spiritual emotions by practicing this regulative devotional service, Shuddha sattva or spiritual transcendental energy descends and transform your consciousness, and you experience, you understand. One of the aspects of this energy is called samvit, means energy of awareness. You can understand who you are in your spiritual role, your eternal emotions or relationship with God. You understand it. And another aspect, constituent part of this energy, is called Hladini Shakti. Hladini means pleasure-giving potency. You will experience bliss, unlimited bliss, and ever-increasing bliss. And this is an item of spiritual energy, which is awakening and bringing through the practice. So you practicing things, maybe not feel like that so far. Maybe you can feel something, right? But not so much like bliss and eternal happiness. But it's coming if you continue with this practice. If you carry on with this, you improve your sadhana more and more. You more observe these items of bhakti, and finally will elevate your consciousness to this level. And this is life is meant for this, meant for this practice. Realize this God consciousness to awaken your eternal love of God. And this is the beauty of this practice. But this process is not, as I said, it's not austere and renounced. It's so much renunciation and different, I don't know, tapasya. So this is process is full of bliss, full of happiness. It's called Susukham Kartumavya, means this process is joyfully performed. You by doing this, you feel joy, right? You don't feel like morose or sorrow, right? So you feel joy. And this joy is only beginning of your, spiritual emotions. This is beauty of this bhakti. So anyway, we're going through these different stages in order to attain supreme bliss, supreme happiness, and supreme consciousness. And this is goal of life. This is ultimate destination of all living entities. Maybe they don't understand this, but you fortunately came in contact with this process, and you have a chance to realize your spiritual potential in this lifetime. And while you're young and full of energy, you can utilize your energy and life in the proper direction, and you will realize this because you have your time. You can use it for higher purpose. And sometimes it is saying that we have a bad bargain to get this material body, but we can use it. We can what is called bad bargain. Make the best use of the bad bargain. Yes, like this. So we have this material body, but still we can utilize it for higher purpose, and we can realize our spiritual consciousness and realize the purpose of life. Become a perfect practitioner of bhakti and realize our love to Godhead. And this is bhakti, which I mentioned. This is sadhana. It goes through the stages. First one is called just practice. And this is immature bhakti. We just practice. We're making efforts we're endeavoring for perfection. Right? We're not perfect. We try it. We're trying hard. We're waking up early. We're picking up our beats. We try to chant to concentrate our mind. Maybe our mind is wandering around or all over the place, but we still try to bring it and focus it on a goal. And this is not mature practice. Yeah, this is called practice discipline. But once we arrive on the level of Bhava, there is no more sadhana. So we become perfect. So we become self-realized. And there is naturally, it goes naturally. So we will feel bliss, happiness, joy, and connection with God. So you can experience higher consciousness. So you become perfect. And that one is called perfect or realized or mature bhakti. But still it's bhakti. So from the beginning it's bhakti, in the middle is bhakti, at the end is bhakti. If you're going with this, so it's always bhakti. But sometimes, like mango. Mango is sometimes unripe, sometimes it's mature, but still it's mango, right? It's called Palakaraja. Palakaraja means king of fruits. Doesn't matter, it's green, unripe, or it's... It matters, but it's still mango. And at this point, maybe our bhakti is not mature, not right, but still it's bhakti. And bhakti is very precious. And Krishna appreciates your efforts that you're doing. And he appreciates like a perfect process, but not mature yet. So you have to, accomplish it and become perfect at some point. So this is sadhana, and this is very important process for our spiritual elevation. And one of the important items is to come here and associate with those who make more advancement, with like-minded people. This association is very crucial. You can pick up some mood, some energy of those who practice it. And you also apply in your practice. You become more perfect in this way. So this is the importance of sadhana. And there are many different details which we can discuss. Maybe if you like asking, or you can. Yeah.
Love is a regular. You can see if somebody else.
Yeah, we can apply to the discussion. I don't want to speak all the time to make you bored, so maybe you can go in the circle and just discuss with everyone if you want. Yes, please.
Talk at the beginning 3 parts of the. I missed the last one.
Last one is called prema. Prema means divine love of God, and this is a stage of perfection when you realize your sadhana, your practice. Like it is saying, practice makes perfect, right? When you practice, you become perfect. You arrive at your stage of prema, you become perfect. So then you relish this process, you relish, you experience love, bliss, joy, ananda, whatever. But process is the same everywhere. At the beginning, at the middle, at the end.
So it means that prema is more than bhava?
Bhava, yeah. Bhava means it's like beginning of prema.
Oh.
Sometimes you give an example. It's like prema is like a sun, rising sun. But bhava is like a ray of sun. It's coming to a room. It's already everything is enlightened. But still, sun is not come yet fully. But ray of sun is already came. This is called bhava.
There's another analogy, if I can share, but it says like because sometimes bhakti in our previous teacher, the scripture, is described like a plant, in the heart, and then when plant grows by nurturing, by practice, etc., it grows, and then when flower comes is bhava. So you get the smell, you get the beauty, and so many things. But then when it's very ripe, it becomes fruit, and then you can eat it. So this is bhava is like a flower, and prema is like fruit.
Like a fruit of the creeper of bhakti. Yeah. So we planted seed by following this example, this analogy. It's a very nice analogy. We planted the seed of bhakti in the form of our faith, right? We've got a faith in Krishna, in God, in our process. So we have this in our heart. So now we have to cultivate it by watering, by chanting it, by engaging in the process. Shravanadi Jal, it's called Shravanadi Jal. Jal means water, and Shravanadi means hearing, chanting, remembering, all these things. So we're watering our seed of bhakti, and it is growing gradually. It's coming and sprout out, and then first, like you said, first flowers, right? There may be some leaves, but then flowers and bhava. So experience bhava, we experience taste, we experience smell, aroma, coming, fragrance. Yeah, and then fruit, ripe fruit of prema. You can relish it, you can enjoy it. So it's become mature and fully ripe.
Can we mistake something else for bhava?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes, this is a good one. So sometimes, because in our heart, so many things are growing, because we live in the material world long time, we planted many seeds in our heart. And bhakti just very, how to say, it's very weak. So we just planted it recently. It's very weak. And when we're watering, this atmosphere is very favorable environment. Yeah. And can we grow many different things from our heart. Sometimes we can mistake bhakti lata for something else, for some material desires. For example, sense gratification, karma, or economical development, that's called artha, or maybe we want to get liberation from material suffering. We think this is bhakti. It's not a bhakti, something else. So many different things: yoga, karma, jnana, many different processes, many different desires in our heart. Basically, we have three main desires. Three main desires in our heart. You would like to know?
Any guess?
Any guess? Yeah. It's like to guess.
I heard something that we observed and we want that, something that we have from past life, and we want to, know.
Something warm, close, but I can give you exactly.
She had something.
You know?
I just say one of those might be love.
Love. Yeah, we want to love.
Love.
Yeah, love. Yeah, this is spiritual. So in material atmosphere, manifested in a way that we want to enjoy our senses, we want to control everything, and we want to become God. That's called jnana, karma, and yoga. Three processes. By jnana, you want to become God, right? Yeah, you want to become, you want to merge into something spiritual and become unlimited and eternal. You want just hidden agenda that you want to become God. So then you want to enjoy my senses, which are not myself. This is my body, so I want to enjoy this body through the senses. This is called karma. And then I want to control everything. This is called yoga. Mystic yoga means you acquire mystic powers. You want to control, you want to enjoy, you want to get some mystical things, experience, and so on and so forth. So these three desires are deviated or perverted desires of original soul. Pure soul has also three desires. So we want to reach God instead of to become God. We want to enjoy, please senses of God instead of please our own senses. And we want to be loved by God, to become dear to God instead of controlling everything. So these three original desires. In other words, we want to love somebody and be loved by God. So this is nature of the soul. So,
But she's right. I think what she's bringing up, in general, we always have this idea. I will meet someone that it will make my life so amazing. Like I will love them, and they will love me.
Yeah, love is there. Yeah, love is always, because this is life necessity of the soul. We want to love somebody, and we alive, still alive, because we hope for love, or maybe we love somebody, or somebody who loves us. That's why we're still alive, because it's life of the soul to love somebody. If we don't love anyone, anybody, we don't have love in our life. That's become like, like dead corpse. We're just eating, sleeping, mating, defending. We're just executing bodily function. That's it. There is no, like any deep emotions. There is no life of the soul. So we want to love somebody, we want to be loved. But in material realm, it doesn't realize. We cannot realize it because everything is, this love is selfish. It's more like a business. It's a business deal. Like sometimes it's saying, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. So we want to enjoy our senses. We want to have a deal. Like I'm enjoying your senses, you enjoy my senses. But real love is selfless. It's selfless, and it's never interrupted. Doesn't matter what's happening. It's eternal love. It's a divine love. But we want to get some little love, like it's called karma, material love. Business deal. If you stop to enjoy my senses, I just give it up. I don't want to, anymore continue with this. Are you agree?
So you change the three desire from materialistic to spiritual.
Yeah, this is original desires.
So in this material world, that's easy to love someone, right? In the material world, but you can take that love and also turn it spiritually. So you can love God through somebody that you like, that you love in the material world. So you shift the love through spirituality.
Tu demandes ou c'est un...
Non, c'est un point, c'est juste une question. Par contre, parle en français.
Non, non.
So,
You can translate
Tu peux me dire en français si c'est plus clair?
là, à partir de la personne que tu es dans le monde matérialistique, tu peux te rediriger cet amour vers Dieu. Tu vois ce que je veux dire?
So he's saying that if you love someone, materially speaking, you can redirect that love to God.
Yeah. Something like that. So we have this reflection of this original divine love. So we have love, friendship, society, we have different relationships. But these all relationships are like reflection from this original tendency of the soul to love God in different flavors. Like sometimes we can develop our relationship with God like friendship or paternal relationship or conjugal relationship. So there are different flavors with the love of God, because God is a sensual living being, supreme living being. He has senses. He wants to reciprocate with us. But in the matter to reciprocate with God, we have to elevate our consciousness from the modes of nature. We live in the modes of nature, the material qualities. It's called ignorance, passion, and goodness. So we have to elevate up to the level of Shuddha Sattva. It's called a spiritual being, spiritual atmosphere. This process of elevation, then we can come into contact with God, and we experience unlimited, divine, uninterrupted, and selfless love without any remuneration, any return. So we just, we love and we experience bliss out of it. And nobody pay you, nobody, just naturally. And this is spiritual. So we cannot experience here this love. And we cannot reciprocate with the people in the same manner because people are not perfect. They're also, they're just, living in this material world. They have a lot of problems and depression and things that are suppressed by material nature. They're not going to reciprocate with you in the same manner. You see? But in potential, all living entities, their souls, their spirit souls, they're eternal servants of God. And in potential, we can love them. But you cannot love them without God. Yeah. So God has to be in the middle. For example, there is a girl and boy. So between them some feelings. So if you don't put God between, so this is material love based on the bodily concept of life. So because we live in not our souls, not our real personality, we live in this covering of the soul, which is the body, right? Human body, man body, female, male body. We live in body, we live in this body, but we're not just reciprocating with the soul directly. You understand that? That's why it's temporary, and it's based on the sexual desire, and it's kind of low class. It's also love, but it's kind of reflection. Yeah, it's a semblance of love. Looks like, but it's not real. It's a semblance. Yeah, something. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for your question. Maybe
Is it on the same point?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
I heard in Shastras or Vedic classes where it is said that Krishna comes to our life as our relatives, as close ones, as far as we don't have spiritual knowledge. There was particularly the case with gopis when they went to Krishna, and Krishna told them, "You are breaking the old morale by coming here, by leaving your husbands and families, and coming at night." And they explained that their families, this is also how Krishna came to them. And that, well, I heard that point was elaborated. Maybe you can also give insights into that. How can we understand our closed ones? Are they like how Krishna comes to us in a way?
To us. So Krishna comes only to those who has some love. He doesn't want to engage with the modes of nature. So modes of nature, material, atmosphere, passion, ignorance, and even goodness. Krishna is not interested in material qualities. He wants to reciprocate with you when you have a little bit. It's called Hladini Shakti or Soul Shakti. It's an internal potency. It's spiritual. When you have this, Krishna he becomes attractive.
Hladini Shakti.
Yeah, Hladini, different terms for that. So Krishna doesn't want to reciprocate with material things. But although he loves us eternally and he always maintains us, you see, we eternally maintained by Krishna. And even we don't know about him, but still he always facilitates our material happiness, material development, all our desires, everything. He fulfills for eternity. Even we don't know him, we just turn away from him, We try to enjoy and just forget him. But still he facilitates. He loves us like a father, but we cannot reciprocate with him on the same level. So we have to develop this kind of, as I said, bhava, spiritual emotion. And then Krishna will be very much attracted to you. Yeah. So then we can reciprocate with him and, exchange with emotions and, enjoy with him. Like Prabhupada said. So we meant for Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, we gonna be with Krishna. We stay with Krishna. We eat with Krishna. We walk with Krishna. We play with Krishna and we dance with Krishna. All these different exchanges on the spiritual level. Exchanges with the spiritual energy. It's not material. Yeah, so basically Krishna is there, but he wants us to become pure and ready, open for spiritual life, for spiritual love, real love. Sometimes some of the people, we maybe love them, but we're not sure that this person, if I open to him my heart, but he's like gonna cheat me. In material life, everyone has his own agenda, and if you just become really open with him, so he just use you and just manipulate you, right? Yeah, this is normal situation in material life. In the same way, maybe we're not ready for Krishna because Krishna sees our heart. We're not pure enough. We have material desires. We have agenda, our hidden agenda. Krishna will love you, but at the same time, we want to get something from Krishna. We're not selfless, right? We want Krishna's opulences. We want his riches. We want, I don't know, glory, beauty,
Liberation, power,
yeah, power, yeah, things. But we don't want Krishna himself. When you want Krishna himself, then Krishna will reciprocate this. I'm very happy with it. So he's not sure about us. We not really, like fully sincere and trustworthy. Yeah, with Krishna. But he likes our endeavors that we're trying to attain him. We're trying to become servants of Krishna, and he very much happy. After many lifetimes, now returned back to Krishna. So Krishna very happy. So he facilitates our development, our spiritual part, helping us remove some obstacles and send some people, those who can, uplift our consciousness, give us some advice, and he guides us life after life. Actually, he is in our heart, and he guides us. And he sometimes manifests externally in the form of spiritual master. It's called guru, right? It's manifestation of Krishna. So he comes in the form of guru and gives us advice how to develop our Krishna consciousness in a certain period of history, a certain point of our life. So Krishna acting in different ways, with different tools. Yeah.
I have a question. Hare Krishna. So it is said that it's not good to preach Krishna consciousness to people who don't want to hear about Krishna consciousness. Right?
Yeah.
Well, what would you recommend to do if, let's say, you have your family members that you will go visit them, and they don't want to tell about Krishna consciousness, and they meet, and they don't follow the 4 principles. So what would be the recommendation? You are going to visit them.
Yeah.
You cannot go.
Yeah, 4 principles doesn't matter. Just forget it. 4 principles, people not follow them. But you can be friendly with them. You can try to elevate them somehow. Not speaking directly about Krishna's pastimes or confidential things, rather than Krishna and pleasure worlds over down. It's too much for them. So you just speak normal things, and try to, by your example, you set an example for them. And then by observing you, they see, oh, this guy is doing well for many years, for a long time. So probably he's a real guy. He's not just pretending. So they're picking up from you, or they become more open for you and become more friendly, and then you can inject a little bit more. So you have to be clever, you have to be intelligent to inject a little Krishna consciousness, but not too much. Otherwise it's going to be, it's going to be overboard, and they just, turn away from this. So we have to be very careful with this. This is not for, for general public. We keep some confidential stuff for inner circle. We're not speaking about it. We're preaching all the time, but we have to use intelligence. Buddha yoga, first of all, then bhakti. Tadami Buddha yogam tam, the same. So first of all, we connect.
Become conscious, then Krishna conscious.
Yeah, first of all, we have to become conscious, then Krishna conscious. Yeah, we try. We just use our intelligence how to gradually bring people to Krishna consciousness, elevate them their consciousness, uplift them a little bit, make them more happy in the life. And this is way how to, somehow. Is it okay? Yeah, sometimes you're preaching too much, and people become averse. They become, they turn away, and sometimes the devotees are asking from spiritual masters from the world, "Oh, Guruji, why my relatives, my closest one, they just, they don't want to share, they don't want to be." And normally, when such situation happens, so spiritual master asking, "Do you preaching to them?" "Yes, I'm doing." "So stop preaching." So
That's the reason.
Yeah, that's the reason. Stop preaching, and then everything will be right. You just stop preaching. I mean, we shouldn't be fanatical about this. something reasonable. So we have many things to say, but we shouldn't be fanatical. and you never begin with the four regulative principles. This is heavy things. First of all, we have to share love. They have to become friendly, open, help them. Four regulative principles, you just leave it for those who already, they just fixed. Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, when he came to America in 1965, 60 years back. So he came to America and he...
60 years was this week, actually. That are...
It was on the 13th of September. He arrived in Boston, 1965.
Yeah, a little bit Prabhupada.
Yeah, I was...
So last week was 60 years that he put his feet on...
It was anniversary. Yeah. He arrived in Boston. Yeah, 6 years back. Our movement started basically 59 years back. So next year will be anniversary. So the product of that arrival. So now we have the opportunity to practice spiritual life. So when he came and some hippies, surrounded him, a few sincere souls, and he injected Krishna consciousness. He gave them some kind of spiritual understanding, and he gave them love. First of all, he gave them love. He gave them love, good relationship. He was cooking for them. He was chanting Hare Krishna for them. He never asked anything. And after a while, when they become more mature, more sincere, they ask, "Oh, Prabhupada, maybe we can do something for you." So, and then they become more open. And at some point, they ask him for initiation. They want to, become fully dedicated to this tradition. And Prabhupada said, "Okay, no problem. So let us do it properly." So he organized a ceremony for initiation. And next day he said, "Now you have to follow four regulative principles." Next day, not before.
He didn't tell them, he wrote in a paper.
Share the fourth thing, the fourth.
Oh, for things. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy, maybe for...
Next class.
Next year.
Yeah, but we're not forced. So 4 things to follow. No meat eating, no any, what is called, violent food, fish, eggs, and meat. This is a little bit easy because we have Prasad, we have very nice
Substitute.
Yeah, substitute alternative. So no intoxication, not any drugs, intoxication, cigarettes, whatever, nicotine, nothing. Then no gambling, no any casino, PlayStation, gain money, whatever. We just give it up. And last one is most heaviest. No illicit sex.
Celibacy?
Huh?
Celibacy?
Celibacy, yeah, we allowed marriage life. Marriage life is okay. And this is most heaviest one. So these 4 things, but it's kind of late. It's not necessary to force it. As I said, we're fallen we're fallen by higher taste. So first of all, you acquire a taste, and then you give up lower things. We're fallen something. When we acquire something higher, then we're ready to give up easily. So in the same way, we develop a type of attachment to spiritual things, to prasad association, to pure life, godly life, pure consciousness, wonderful festivals, associations, so many things. We have a cultural problem. It's a huge culture, Then you can give it up gradually. So we're not forcing. So let's do it properly. Yeah. Is it okay?
There is though a little challenge though I come back to your point when you
yes.
visit your family, so ultimately you love them. and then you see them smoking and then coughing very hard. Then what you do this to yourself, right? So you love them, you want to help them. Or when they say, okay, I only eat only one time a week. You know, so ultimately you say, well, if you can do it one time, maybe you can do it 0 times. And then they're like, oh no, it's okay because I like it. So, you know, it's very hard to convey the message. You can give up these things. But usually this person, they reject. They say, no, okay, I'm only smoking this much. Or I'm only eating this much. So it's when you say to them, no, I'm not eating any egg, I'm not eating any meat, I don't smoke, I don't drink coffee, even when I approach you, have a cup of coffee, and then you reject. They're saying, they think, oh, okay, that person changed. But you can't make them understand why you don't eat this. You can explain to them. The challenge when you link your family or your relatives, your friends.
Yeah, it's very difficult for modern people to give up all these things because this is culture, this modern culture is based on these things. Eating meat, intoxication, drugs, illicit sex, drugs, rock and roll. This is basically the culture. If you give it up, so you don't give them anything, you know, like any alternatives, they become crazy. How can I live without these things? So first of all, I have to give them alternatives, substitute things, and then when they experience something higher, they become beautified. Then they naturally will love and will want something more high. And then, so only like that. So if you're gonna force them, so you're gonna make them against, you're gonna make them averse from Christian consciousness.
No, I'm just saying because when Prabhupada came to Boston, he came in the era of hippies, so they were looking for answers. So he was the answer, but they were like, okay, the hippies were like doing all these things from intoxication and stuff. He gave the answer, but when it comes to those who don't look for answers and you try to show them,
They're looking for answers, but when he
came to
they
Boston,
were not sincere.
When Prabhupada came to Boston, he was the hippie.
People were inquisitive, these things. But it's not always the case.
It's not always the case. What?
If you meet someone who's not inquisitive, generally preach to the inverse result, opposite result.
Yeah, there are different types of people. See, if you bring up some analogy, some of the people they call wet grass. Wet grass means you just throw some spark of fire, it doesn't flame. So then semi-dry grass, and then dry grass. So you have to look what kind of people are there. If they're ready to plant some seeds, to throw some spark of Krishna consciousness, spark of spiritual fire. If you're gonna throw it in the wet grass, it's gonna die, and there is no any use to spend some time, you just try to help them, give them prasadam maybe, inspire them to chant sometimes Hare Krishna when they meet you.
Bring them here time.
Yeah, something like that, whatever. Now, it's very prominent nowadays to come to yoga studio to do some yoga, to get some little prasadam and to chant a little bit. So people open for that, those who more or less like semi-dry grass. Yeah. But dry grass, very rare people, those who ready, you just, just plant the seed there immediately, assimilate it, and they will become fully open to that. Yeah, I mean, it's a good analogy. We have to look what kind of people are there. Give them a little injection of Krishna consciousness.
I just wanted to share that 10 years ago, I was in an ashram up north here.
You were in what?
In an ashram. And somebody told me, I think that you should give up alcohol.
Shivananda?
Yeah.
Shivananda, yeah. Actually, Montreal, Quebec, there's the world headquarters of Shivananda. It's like a 1 hour, 2 hour drive
From here.
For him. 1 hour.
Work.
But the thing is, like, this person that he was already in the spiritual life, he said, I think that you should give up alcohol. And when he said that, I was like, how can I do that? Like, my dad showed me love when he's wrong. So for me, it's like my way of connection with my dad. So I couldn't imagine myself being connected. Just an example with my dad. He's opened up more when he's drunk. In a way, in a good way, actually. And even better than when he's sober. When he's sober, he's very rude and he doesn't say anything nice. When he's drunk, he's the lover person, you know? And for me, it was impossible to think about leaving the sauna just because of that.
Definitely. So yeah, this corrupted mentality of materialistic culture. So we live in like this, and we just already, get used to live like this, and completely change our paradigm. Just we have to give up all these things. What am I gonna do? Oh my God, what's the life without all these things? This all my joy, all my happiness, all my love, right? It's like it was some a story from the past when before Prabhupada, some other spiritual master came to England, to UK, and then he started to give classes, philosophical discussions, and some lord, English lord came, he was very intellectual, and he asked him, "Oh Guruji, can you make me Brahmana? Can you make me? Can you make me Brahmana? Brahman means like a priest, like a very highly intellectual and spiritual person. Can you make me Brahmin?" He said, "No problem, I can do it. I can make you Brahmana. You have to give up all the things. 4. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication." He said, "Impossible. This is all my life. I cannot give up. This is impossible." You see, yeah, people are living like this. This is cultural, this modern culture. So some steps, it's a big gap between modern culture and spiritual life, or even beginning of spiritual, because it's not really a spiritual life, it's a human life. It's a big gap. So we have some stepping stones, some bridge preaching, let's say. We have to gradually uplift people to this level. Yeah, but what to do? So we have to make an effort, because if we want to make progress in spiritual
Austerities, all of these.
austerities, yeah, but not really endeavor for austerities. We're just developing higher taste. No problem. So Prabhupada never insists for all these things. Srila Prabhupada, he never forced people to follow his regulated principles.
The fundamental, I guess, question for beginners is avoiding suffering the main reason we want to practice spirituality? Or what's the main reason we would want to practice spirituality?
Yes, a good question. So, to avoid suffering, right? Some of the reasons to give up, to become more happy. And this is a good reason, because there are 4 reasons those people who turn towards God, those who address the Lord, there are 4 types of people. One is called those who are in distress, right? Looking for relief in material life. Another one is those who are looking for wealth. Another one, the inquisitive people. They want to get something, higher knowledge or whatever. And last one, they call those who are looking for truth in their life, absolute truth. Yeah, this is very rare category. So the 40 categories of people. Some of them, they're suffering. And most of the people in Kali Yuga, they're suffering. And this is main reason to turn towards God. And this is okay. It's a beginning. It's not an ultimate purpose, but beginning is good. So when you suffer and you come to the church, to the mosque or to the temple, and you pray to God, please give me relief, give me shelter. So liberate me from this kind of condition of life. And this is very good. This is a good beginning. It's not spiritual life, but it's good motivation. It's 4 motivations, 4 different categories of people, those who approach Lord.
So when you're religious, it means that you're at the beginning. When you're Christian, when you're Muslim, you're at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yes.
Akrita Bhakta. Akrita Bhakta. He's also a Bhakta.
Related with that, because you said before that God is in the heart.
Yeah.
So if God is in the heart, and we can try to connect with Him without the necessity to go to church or temple. So what's the the advantage, or what's the
Going to come to
yeah
spiritual institution.
yeah
Yes, God is in the heart, but you have to be very advanced to connect with God in your heart. Sometimes you can confuse your mind or your previous impressions in your mind, in your consciousness, or your spiritual, or your material desires with the voice of God, so-called voice of God. So therefore, Krishna from your heart manifests himself in the form of vigraha or murti, to that you can reciprocate with him through your gross material senses. You can perceive him through your material senses. So, and this is arrangement. This is divine arrangement. So, God in your heart is this very advanced level. So, God in your heart manifests himself through the spiritual master and through the form in material elements. Then you can see God, you can reciprocate. You can even reciprocate with him through the active principle, like spiritual master Guru. He is a, via media, he is a representative of God from your heart. So when you become introspective and you turn yourself towards God, God manifests himself externally in the form of spiritual master. And then you can have active reciprocation with him. He's considered to be non-different at some point, at some sense.
He's gonna tell you go to temple,
Huh?
and Guru will tell you go to temple.
And then he said, he will say you, go to the temple. If God is everywhere, why don't come to the temple? Because he is there as well, right? Some of the people saying, God is everywhere, in every atom, in every object of material world. Why do you need to go to the temple? But if he is everywhere, he is also in the temple. Why should not come to the temple, right? Yeah. I mean, it's reasonable.
and there is a special energy or something like that in the temple.
Yeah, it's completely spiritual, as we said. It's a spiritual embassy. Embassy of the spiritual world. You come in here, you completely engage in spiritual atmosphere and spiritual activities. No more sinful activities, no any materialistic activities. Form of God is there, and also devotees around. But completely spiritual. So you come in here, you just experience spiritual world to some degree. It's very beautiful. Some of the people become so much attached that they just give up everything and stay in the temple. They don't want to go back, right? Like you. It was so good. Spiritual atmosphere, nice, pure. Consciousness is good, clear. Thank you so much. Maybe any other comments, questions, or any other topics to bring up, we can discuss any burden or emergency. Sorry.
Well,
Yeah. Come on, next step.
covered a lot of field. Thank you, bro.
So, Paul, to not be clear.
Oh, you steered something. Yes, thank you. You know, steering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for allowing me to.
So, that was like, I'm not sure what I can add after you spoke. So I can tell what I feel that you got is like Prabhupada said boiling milk. So I feel like you have boiled your milk a lot, and that's very consistent. I think in 20 minutes you said the thing I would hear over a few hours usually, and I felt it was coming from your heart. So, thanks for like blending yourself, and thank you so much. And I think we got a lot to think about, meditate, and develop it from. So thank you, bro, and thank you for all your questions, because that's what makes it relatable. That's what makes it. That's why we don't do. How do you say just chanting? By the way, tomorrow there's an event just chanting. So
Yeah.
here the cards are.
Where once
Okay, after.
Well, I'll just leave it.
Okay, give to me. Thank you. But there's an aspect of hearing which can touch us in some aspect, and that's very important. And that's gonna feed our own chanting, and that's gonna mold our life. It's going to give us direction. So, thank you. And then, so the next phase, we stretched a little bit for the talking, so I think we can leave the Java for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting our time for dinner. So before we proceed, ¿puede, Prabhu, empezar a transferir? Porque está todo en la entrada. Pero todo en la cocina.
Está en la bocina.
Pienso que debe ser.
Okay.
En la entrada, como en la...
En la entrada de la bocina.